So today I'm going to talk about a tough subject in my life. It is the loss of my mom. Um, Growing up, my mom was the mom that was the swim team mom, the PTA mom, the any project you think you can make, I'll help you make it mom, the um, mom that knew how much I loved this certain pattern of fabric. So she went out and found it and made me a bedspread and pillows for a Christmas present, which I totally knew before because I snooped on everything. Didn't everyone? um, she was a mom when we were on a vacation. And we rented these cabins in the summertime, and every once in a while it would get pretty cold at night, and there wasn't any heat in these cabins. So she would go out and get these huge rocks, and she put them in the oven and heat them up, and then wrap them up in all these towels, and she would put them at the foot of our beds so that our feet would be toasty warm. Um, she was kind and giving. She did a lot of volunteer work. She was extremely smart, an artist, beautiful artist. She was a stay-at-home mom, but she always had something going on. She either worked part-time or, again, did a lot of volunteer work, a lot of fundraising, and things like that. And when I was 17, our relationship basically ended. I'm 47 now, so I've lived 3 decades of my life without her in my life actively. Um, it's interesting. Socket wouldn't be here if I hadn't lost my mom in this way. Um, I don't know if much of my life would be here. Um, I think about the path and the roads that I've taken since that time in my life. And so much of it was directed in part by the loss of her. And as you get to know me through Socket, you'll know that I'm pretty open about almost anything. Um, I sit in the camp of someone's got to raise their hand and say they've gone through it, or they're going through it, or they're struggling with it. Someone's got to raise their hand and make sure that everyone else out there knows that they are not alone in what they're going through, and that, especially in today's age of social media, everything looks so freaking perfect. Like every human you know seems like, if you just look at their social media feed, that their kids are always put together, they're always well dressed, they're always behaving, that their marriage is perfect, that their business life is taking off. And it's hard, if you're paying attention to a lot of that, to it's hard not to judge yourself off of what it looks as if their life is. And so I've always been someone that is, I say I'm an oversharer. I've had a couple people say to me, gosh, why do you share that? You don't need to tell everyone that. And I just know I can be part of the solution. I know that part of the reason why I'm on this planet is to help others feel okay about themselves, because I've worked so hard for the past 3 decades to feel okay about myself. And I've put in the work, and I know the path that I've had to kind of forge through unforged territory to heal from some of the losses. Um, so I'm an open book, and if someone really knows me well, they know the basic story of my mom leaving. But in this forum, where I'm sharing with lots of people, I am very respectful that, although I'm willing to share all of the story, that some of the story is actually my mom's story. And because I'm not in relationship with her actively, I don't have permission to share her side of the story. And if you listen to my version and her version, they aren't exactly the same. And so, again, I'm very respectful of that. And so I wasn't really sure how to address her in Socket. I don't want to be evasive or seem like, oh, I'm going to hide this from you. That's not my point. It's just, I don't have her permission to share it all. That being said, without understanding the loss of a mother at age 17 and what that led me down, what the things that happened after that, or the feelings that I felt, or the sadness and the loneliness that I had, that drives so much of what I do in my life today, it's impossible for me to not mention her in some ways. So I guess I would just like to give her a big shout out. I wrote a blog post that I'm kind of mulling over and reading a couple times. It was called The Gift, and it was about her leaving. And at some point, she and I both knew that we could not be in healthy relationship with one another. Um, and while the loss of her has been the largest loss by far that I've gone through, it has been something that has changed my life and caused me to seek out understanding and look inward and find my own value and my own truth. And between my work as a chiropractor, my work running the Branch Moms community, and now in Socket, when you peel back all the onion layers of Cathy, kind of Socket came out, and in large part, it's because of this journey I've been on, starting from this, this loss. So, so I appreciate my mom having the strength to know what she knew, and to know that while I'm sure it's been difficult on her as well, that at the end of the day, that this was the best route for she and I. And man, I try my best to keep the funny, happy memories that I have of her. It's 3 decades ago. Some of them seem to fade. And that makes me sad, but I can't hear her voice in my head. I know that people that, lose someone, as someone passes away, say, I just got to the place where I can't hear their voice. And I know in my head, I can't hear her voice, and that stinks. But she set the seeds for me. She set a foundation of love and support and guidance, intelligence. And I will always, always be thankful for her for that. And as you continue to listen to Socket, I will make references to her. Some of them will be funny stories. Some of them will be sad stories. But again, I just wanted to address that loss in the best way I know how, to set the tone for the rest of the things I'll be able to share with you on Socket. So I appreciate your understanding in that. And I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks.